Golf ball sized hail associated with this round of thunderstorms. So that's why we do have those severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, and why I think we'll continue to see them. The reds and the greens on top of each other, that lets us know that there's that little spiral. So you can see just north of Summit where you have that combination again of the red and the green. You have the winds that are going toward and away. That's why we can look at the radar and say this is a radar indicated tornado. We can see that clear eye though, not only on the satellite image but on radar as well, letting us know that this hurricane, it means business as it's continuing to push its way up the coastline. So while we're cold enough in the upper layers to maybe start off as snow, we start to melt that, but as soon as it comes onto contact with cold surfaces, whether it's your car, the sidewalks, or unfortunately even the roads that you're driving on, that's going to be what turns it right into a sheet of ice. The next couple of days we'll have a chance to dry that out, and I feel like Bolivar is going to be a pretty popular place to be, so I'll be interested to see how busy this camera is later this afternoon. Maybe after looking at that view of the golf course, you're thinking it may not be a bad idea to dodge the Black Friday shopping and pull out the golf club. Fog giving us enough moisture, and when it comes in contact with temperatures below freezing, it's going to create ice somewhere. This morning it's creating ice on your cars, so I'd say before you head out the door, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to get it started a little early, turn on the defrosters.
So he's a little bit big. He only gets to play with news reporters and weather people.
He's still very playful though.
Oh, yeah, and he's not using his claws, you can see, so he's very well aware of those weapons.
It's kind of a scary thought that your car can heat up just that quickly.
A reminder not to leave animals or children in the car.
Oh yeah, even those quick errands that you think might just take 5 minutes, you're running to the grocery store, you know what you want. In a matter of 10 minutes, the inside of your car can jump about 10 to 15 degrees. I'm not going to say dodge the morning coffee. It's okay. I had to have some caffeine this morning too. But do keep in mind things like caffeine, even alcohol, those work to dehydrate you. Stretching from Washington all the way down into central parts of California, that's where they're watching out for the rainfall today. But the cold front that's associated with that rain, it is going to continue to slide its way off into the Rockies tomorrow. And then from there, it's going to be a pretty fast moving system. Turn around, don't drown saying it is something that I know you've heard several times. And while we may never see quite that amount of rainfall like the Houston area is having now, taking simple steps like just taking a whole nother route to avoid those flooded roadways, they could truly be a saving measure.
And now, your KY3 Storm Team forecast.
Well, good evening, everyone. Hopefully you had a chance to go out and enjoy that gorgeous weather we saw today. And if not, I think you're in luck because we're looking at very similar conditions as we head toward your Sunday afternoon. It will be a little cool to start off the morning. We'll be down to the 50s late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Quickly, though, with the sunshine climbing back up into the mid-70s. Now, of course, one thing that we're still watching tonight, that area of low pressure, it's been spiraling its way across the Ohio Valley today, starting to push its way up toward the Great Lakes. It's taking with it the chance for any rain showers and a good chunk of our cloud cover as well. Now, without the clouds to kind of act like a blanket and keep in the heat for us, it is still a little cool tonight, so you can kind of use last night as a good gauge for whether or not it'll be a nice night to just give the air conditioner a break or even leave some of the windows open. For now, we are seeing a few spots down to the 50s. Mountain Grove, one of the colder spots, 53 degrees already, so I wouldn't be surprised if those places in the mid-50s even see some upper 40s by the time tomorrow morning rolls around. Now, the clouds like we saw today, they're going to continue to impact the temperatures, so even though we're expecting mid-70s for Springfield, a few areas towards central Missouri and up by Rolla as well, they could be a little bit cooler. Now, a warming trend is going to be on the way ahead of the next chance for showers for the coming work week. Now, we've already kind of focused on that area of low pressure. It's going to continue to spiral its way well up into the Great Lakes and really isn't causing much of a concern aside from maybe a few passing clouds. The bigger thing that we're focusing on over here, high pressure in control. As high pressure continues to slide its way across the Ozarks for both Sunday and Monday, well, not only will we be watching for more sunshine, but as it moves around in that clockwise pattern, we'll have a shift in wind, so a bit of a southerly wind coming in place, also helping to bring in much warmer, but also some more moist air. Now, the moisture that's going to be funneling in, it'll be something that we watch, especially with this approaching cold front. The cold front that's going to be pushing its way into the plains by the beginning of the work week. Well, it'll be moving here toward the Ozarks by about Tuesday night into the day on Wednesday. So even though you need the sunglasses tomorrow, I wouldn't put that rain gear away too far just yet. Here's kind of what our models are thinking, even with the timing of this system. I think as early as Tuesday night, we could see a few light showers here or there. But even as we head toward the day Wednesday, most of us will just be watching for a few light showers, maybe upwards of about 1/4 of an inch of rain. Most of the heavier showers, that's where we get into those blue and purple areas. So it'll be where the cold front initiates by the time Tuesday and Wednesday rolls around for central parts of Kansas. And of course, the change in pressure systems and that cold front rolling through, it'll affect your temperatures as well. Tonight we'll be down close to 50 degrees, but much like we saw today, those areas up like we were mentioning by Rolla, Camdenton, even by Jefferson City and Sedalia, they're going to struggle to hit 70 degrees, while by the middle of the afternoon, we'll be talking about mid-70s, potentially even a few upper 70s appearing down by Springfield, Monette, and Rogers. Now, as we head toward the day on Monday, again, more sunshine, that southerly breeze in place. It will uptick the temperatures a bit. We're going to be watching for highs by the beginning of the work week, closer to 80 degrees. Now, tonight, we can use last night again like a gauge to figure out whether or not it's a good night to keep the windows open. 50 degrees for me, it's a little cool, so that's about the temperature that if you do have the window open, you might want to consider even adding an extra blanket. Layering up tomorrow, I think it's going to be a good idea as well, because even though we're starting off in the 50s, very comfortable afternoon high temperatures continuing to climb up to the mid, maybe even upper 70s. Now, again, further south and east you go, even if you're thinking about heading down toward the Tulsa area, that'll be where we have that chance for 80s making an appearance. The rest of us, 80s won't be far behind. They'll be moving in by the beginning of the work week, ahead of some rainfall by the second half of the week. Well, today was a perfect day to bake some cookies outside. What we did today was we took some cookie dough, put it in a pan, and placed that pan on the dashboard of one of our news cars. Then what we did was we waited. The temperature inside reached over 120 degrees, and our high today in Springfield was 98, so it didn't take long for the car to heat up, and in just a couple of hours, well, the dough, it almost more so melted away than fully cooked the cookies. If you're interested in trying this experiment at home yourself, it typically takes upwards of about 3 to 5 hours, depending on how hot it is outside, and you're gonna get better results if you're putting it in direct sunlight. I don't know, we had a couple people who were curious about whether or not this would actually work. I think they look almost done to me, and these were only out there for 2.5 hours or so?
Yeah, I believe that's outright. Feel the pan, it's still kind of warm.
It is. And one thing that we noticed too is our news director got us this big thermometer so we can do outdoor weather stories. I think after about 30 minutes, we already hit above and beyond what our thermometer could measure. So
oh, wow.
If you are interested in doing this yourself, maybe get a digital thermometer and one that's capable of reading over 150 degrees, which is kind of a scary thought, that your car can heat up just that quickly.
A reminder not to leave animals or children in the car.
Oh yeah, even those quick errands that you think might just take 5 minutes, you're running to the grocery store, you know what you want. In a matter of 10 minutes, the inside of your car can jump about 10 to 15 degrees from what it actually is outside. Here's how quickly the progression can heat up inside your car at just 95 degrees. Across the board today, we were anywhere from about 95 to 100. And the next couple of days, we aren't looking to see much of a drop. After just about 20 minutes in your car, if it's 95 degrees outside, the inside of your car is hitting nearly 125 degrees. After 30 minutes, 129 degrees. So that experiment that we were showing you, not only is it going to result in our car smelling like cookies, so some natural air freshener for the car, but also it shows just how quickly you can even be literally baking inside your car. Now, our high temperatures today, like we mentioned, a few of us hit 100 degrees. Down in Joplin, 101 degrees for that high. Camdenton, all day long, it was hot and muggy. You climbed all the way up to 102 degrees. Now, in order to be record-breaking for this time of the year, well, here in Springfield, we would have had to climb up to 104 degrees. That was set back in 1901. But you probably noticed we're about 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year. So it's not just hot, it is well above even those average temperatures for July. If you do have any evening plans, I think we're still going to be staying warm and muggy. In fact, it won't be until about 9-10 o'clock this evening that we start to fall back down into the mid-90s, and you can bet our humidity, it is still going to be in full force. Now, there is a little bit of good news, is that the humidity does mean we have more moisture in the air, and the heat from the day will continue to stir up instability. All we need is a nice little trigger in order to get some showers and thunderstorms heading our way, and I think that will be coming in the form of a cold front as early as tomorrow morning. Now, also throughout the day tomorrow, we are not looking to catch much, if any, relief from the heat. In fact, this big area of excessive heat warning, so the bright pink color. That means the heat index even throughout the day tomorrow, so until 7 p.m. could be upwards of 110 degrees. Now those of us south of 44, we've been staying under the heat advisory, meaning heat index values for us still could be well over 100 degrees. The main thing that's been triggering these hot and very humid conditions, it's been an area of high pressure just down to the south. And what we were talking about earlier, we need something in order to break up that area of high pressure and trigger some showers and storms. Well, it's going to be this cold front that starts to sink its way down across the Ozarks tomorrow. And here's a little closer look at the future cast on what we could be talking about with the chance for rain. I think tonight we're more so looking at just building in some clouds early in the morning. Those of you up and down 49, we could see a few isolated showers. And the future cast, it may not necessarily be exact with pinpointing who could see the best chance for rain, but unfortunately I think it does have the right idea that not everyone is going to look at that chance for some showers. In fact, even into the day, Monday and Tuesday, we'll be keeping a close eye on the chance for a few showers, maybe an isolated storm to pop up, but overall we are not going to get much in the way of rainfall. Now tonight, again, still couldn't be out of the question, especially for some of our far western and northern counties, to see a spotty shower, maybe even a thunderstorm that could continue on into first thing tomorrow morning. I went ahead and put that chance for a few pop-up showers for both Missouri and Arkansas tomorrow, because even though it won't be widespread, you still want to be watching the clouds. Also, you'll notice temperatures are staying very hot these next couple of days. Normally, we're talking about near 89 degrees for a high, so yes, we are used to the heat this time of the year, but we could still be talking about several days in the 90s. One thing I want to point out too, with that chance for a few showers and thunderstorms even continuing into the start of next week, we'll catch a little bit of relief from the heat, but we can still continue that streak of 90 degrees or above for almost all of this upcoming week as well. So just a little bit of a break, and that'll just kind of push us closer to normal.
Yeah, we sure could use that.
That's going to be a best case scenario where we're just talking about rainfall, but all of that pink that we're seeing on the Doppler radar, that's where it gets a little fuzzy, because that's where we're talking about the mix. The main concern for today, it's the freezing rain. The difference between rain versus freezing rain, well, you do still have that warm layer of air in the middle of the atmosphere, so while we're cold enough in the upper layers to maybe start off as snow, we start to melt that, but as soon as it comes onto contact with cold surfaces, whether it's your car, the sidewalks, or unfortunately even the roads that you're driving on, that's going to be what turns it right into a sheet of ice. The strongest part of the hurricane, if you're used to the Doppler radar, you can tell that once you get those oranges and reds, that's when we increase not only the rainfall, but really the strength of the storm. So the strongest storms associated with the hurricane, it's kind of in that northeastern quadrant. So as long as this hurricane stays offshore, the strongest impacts of the hurricane will not be making landfall. This one came in around 7:40 in the morning, so it was really between about 7:40 and 8 o'clock that we started getting those calls. And when we talk about magnitudes between 2.5 and say 3.6 like that first one, that means people pretty widespread, they're starting to feel the earthquake, especially inside, and you might more so notice things like, say, your picture shaking on the wall, any unsteady furniture maybe wobbling a little bit as well. Very minor damage though is typically reported with those size of earthquakes that we saw like this morning. It's once you start to hit that 5.5 and larger that we start to see more widespread damage. Irma in this case has been approaching its way from the south. We have been seeing very strong winds blowing their way in from the northeast, and what that actually does is it helps to pull the water out of the shallow bays and some of the harbors. Now here's a video, many may have already seen this. It's from the Public Information Coordinator out by the Clearwater area. He shared this video, and here's again where you can see almost an eerie look across the bay from that water that's been receding from those very strong winds. In fact, as we continue to watch across the state of Florida, they saw a state like that earlier today, and just take a look at what it looks like over there now. This was a video that was recorded just an hour ago from the Tampa, Florida area.